You think you deserve that money? The venom in my stepmother's voice sliced through the phone line like a razor. That trust fund belongs to Chloe now. She's worth more than you'll ever be. I clutched the edge of my hotel room desk in Minneapolis, my knuckles whitening as I fought to steady my pounding heart. Her name's Vanessa, my stepmother. And she just dropped a bombshell with a smirk I could practically hear. She drained the trust fund my mom left me, or so she thought. I'm Sophia Carter, 28. A pharmaceutical sales rep who's spent years crisscrossing the country, dodging the toxic mess of my so-called family. It was supposed to be a routine Tuesday, prepping for a client pitch, not a showdown with Vanessa's gloating. Thanks for the update, I said, my voice cool as ice, hiding the storm raging inside. I could almost picture her smug grin falter. She'd wanted me to crumble, tears, begging, fury, anything but this calm defiance. That's it, she snapped, irritation creeping in. Chloe needs it for her wedding and her new place. You just squander it on your pointless little job. I thought of my mom, Claire, gone since I was 16. She'd clawed her way up from nothing, built a thriving business, and left me that trust fund to chase my own dreams Vanessa had been scheming to snatch since she slithered into my dad's life 2 years after Mom's death. Anything else? I asked. Still steady. The silence on her end was deafening. What Vanessa didn't know was that 6 months ago, I'd gotten a heads up from Mr. Daniels, Mom's old lawyer. He'd flagged her shady moves and helped me lock the trust down with legal steel barriers that didn't just block her, they'd bury her if she tried. You're a disgrace, she spat, fishing for a reaction. Chloe deserves it more than you ever will. I hung up, staring out at the Minneapolis skyline, hands trembling, not from fear, but from the thrill of knowing I'd outplayed her. Every call, every scheme, every lie, it was all recorded. Vanessa had finally tripped over her own arrogance, and I was ready to strike. Growing up with Vanessa was like tiptoeing through a minefield. After Mom lost her battle with cancer when I was 16, Dad was a wreck, desperate to patch our broken family. Enter Vanessa and her 13-year-old daughter, Chloe, just 2 years later. The tension hit like a freight train. Mom had poured her soul into her pharmaceutical consulting firm, building it brick by brick to secure my future. That trust fund wasn't just cash, it was her legacy, her shield for me. To Vanessa, though, it was a prize I didn't deserve, a golden ticket that should have been Chloe's. Your mom wouldn't want you hogging it, she'd hiss, guilt-tripping me. We're family now. But we weren't, not even close. While Dad drowned his grief in work, Vanessa turned our home into Chloe's stage. Every tiny win, straight B's, a school play, got parades and praise. My scholarships, my business school acceptance? Barely a nod. Vanessa spun a web so tight Dad only saw her version of reality. The breaking point came at my college graduation, top of my class, killer job lined up, all while juggling part-time gigs. Dad skipped it because Chloe had a sniffle. She needs me, Vanessa insisted. That's when it hit me, nothing would shift unless I did. I moved out the next day, poured myself into my career, and left the trust fund alone, not out of disinterest, but to keep Vanessa's claws off it. 6 months back, Mr. Daniels called. Vanessa's sniffing around the trust, he warned. It clicked, she'd been biding her time, waiting to pounce. But I wasn't that scared 16-year-old anymore. I was Claire Carter's daughter, and I'd learned how to guard what's mine. That night in the hotel, I pulled out Mom's photo, her smile bold, unbreakable, the woman I'd always wanted to be. The trust fund was my launchpad, my shot to take risks and build something big. Just like she had. I dialed Mr. Daniels, steady now despite the fury simmering. Vanessa made her move, I said. Claims she gave it all to Chloe. I figured, he replied, calm as ever. She tried accessing it this morning. Our safeguards held. Every move's logged. I exhaled hard. So nothing's gone? Not a dime, he assured me. We've got her cold on attempted fraud. Ironclad proof. Next steps. I pictured Vanessa's smug face, her years of jabs and lies. Yes, I said, steel in my voice. Send it all to the family lawyer. CC my dad. He needs to see this. Done. Mr. Daniels said. Your mom'd be proud, Sophia. She always said you were sharper than anyone knew. I booked an earlier flight home, scrapping my meeting. This was personal. Landing in Boston. The crisp fall air stung my face as I headed to Dad's house, the one I'd grown up in, unchanged yet unfamiliar. I'd warned him I was coming but kept Vanessa's call under wraps. Some truths demand eye contact. They were all there in the living room, Dad, Vanessa, Chloe. Vanessa's smirk vanished when she saw me stride in, cool and unshaken. Sophia. Dad frowned, sensing trouble. What's wrong? We need to talk. I pulled out my phone and the file Mr. Daniels had emailed. Vanessa called yesterday. Said she'd emptied my trust fund for Chloe. Here's what really happened. Vanessa blanched. I was helping Chloe save it, I cut in, handing Dad the papers. His hand shook as he read forged signatures, bank calls, years of deceit laid bare. Vanessa, what is this? He whispered. She's lying. Chloe shrieked, face flushed. She's always been jealous. I slid the trust statement across. It's all still there. Vanessa's plan flopped because I saw her coming months ago. You trapped me. Vanessa snarled. No, I said, unshaken. I protected what's mine, just like Mom taught me. The room went dead quiet as Dad pored over the evidence, every email, every fake signature, every step Vanessa took to rip me off and poison us. I did it for us, she pleaded, voice cracking. Chloe needed. Stop, Dad snapped, voice low but lethal. You forged my name. You lied to me. For years. He looked at me, eyes raw with a grief I hadn't seen since Mom died. Sophia. I didn't know. I know, I said softly. She made sure you didn't. Vanessa's mask shattered. You ungrateful, charges are filed, I interrupted. Bank fraud's on it. Mr. Daniels has everything. Dad stood, trembling. Vanessa, get out. Tonight. What? She screeched. You can't. You stole from my daughter, he said, voice breaking. Forged my name. Lied. Out. Chloe sobbed. Real tears this time, maybe realizing her mom's mess. The police will want a word, I told Vanessa. And Dad, there's more. Mr. Daniels found she's been skimming your accounts too. Years of it. He sank into his chair, crushed. I hated hurting him, but he had to know. Get out, he repeated. Both of you. My lawyer's handling the divorce. As Vanessa and Chloe stormed off, hurling blame and tears, I stood by the window where I used to wait for Mom. Her voice echoed, be ready, Sophia. Never let them take what's yours. In the weeks after, Dad and I finally talked, really talked, over coffee in the kitchen where Mom once helped me with homework. I let you down, he said, staring into his mug. After Claire died. I was so scared of being alone I missed what was right in front of me. We both messed up, I admitted. I should have told you sooner, but I needed proof. Vanessa faced fraud charges, pleading out to avoid jail but slapped with restitution and a financial ban. Last I heard, she'd slunk off to Arizona. Chloe emailed me, claiming ignorance. I thought you had it all, she wrote. Mom made you the spoiled one. Now I see she was jealous of what Claire gave you. I wasn't sure I bought it, but I let it lie. With Mr. Daniels' help, I launched my own consulting firm, My Dream. Fueled by Mom's trust fund, just as she'd planned. She'd be proud, he said. You've got her smarts and your dad's grit. Dad started dropping by my office for lunch, rebuilding what we'd lost. He looked like himself again, the man from before Mom's cancer. Claire always said you were a diamond, he told me once. Pressure just makes you shine. My firm took off 3 cities now, helping pharma companies like Mom did. The trust fund wasn't just money, it was my springboard. 5 years later, Dad's retired, mentoring my team, and we've got our Wednesday lunches locked in. The hardest lesson wasn't the betrayal. It was learning to fight for myself. Mom knew I'd need to, and she armed me for it. One day, sorting attic photos, we found Mom's journal. Inside, a letter to me written weeks before she passed. My Sophia, I'm giving you freedom, not just funds. Don't let anyone dim you. You're strong, sharp, unstoppable. Trust yourself, I do. Love, Mom. I framed it for my office, her words driving me daily. At her grave last year, Dad and I laid her favorite flowers. He read her letter, tears in his eyes. She fought for you even at the end, he said. She'd be so proud. Standing there, I knew every stand I'd taken, every move to honor her, was her last gift, and I'd made it mine.